Hey everyone, it's Pup Twigs here from Orlando, Florida, and joining me today from Atlanta, Georgia is Pup Link. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing really good here. Kind of enjoying this a little bit slightly cooler weather.
It's very nice.
Yes, I'm ready for it to get into that fall type weather.
Oh yeah.
So curious. I know your name is Pup Link, and I
Yeah.
love the multicolored rainbow hood you've got there. Tell me about the origin of your name, Link, and also about the hood.
So Pup Link actually comes from the video game, as you could probably guess, Zelda. Well, if you know the video game, then you know that it's Zelda. Um, so this is actually my newest hood. It was actually released during my competition about 3 weeks ago. So this is my Pride version. So I got this ready for Pride since Atlanta does Pride in October. So this is my one of my five hoods that I currently have. My go-to is actually this one. Switch it out.
Oh, nice.
So this is my go-to. So this is my first hood after my original hood, which is that was my starter.
Uh-huh.
And then basically Link is comes from the video game because I kind of see myself kind of going through life and going through all these different obstacles, different things. Um, I kind of see my pack members, my the pups under me, kind of like the weapons that Link would gather through the game to kind of like
Hmm.
build himself up and make himself better, the armor that he uses. So, what better way to kind of represent my hood because it is my shield from the real world than to basically give it the same colors as the Hylian shield, which is that,
Yeah.
and then to turn it into basically a hood. So this is kind of my rendition of the hood. So basically, because the Triforce is yellow, that's why I've got the three pieces that are yellow for the
Mm.
Triforce, and then just kind of my rendition of what it would look like as a shield. So or as a hood if it was the shield from the real game. So
All
that's
of them look,
where it kind of came from.
yeah, all of them look amazing. I love them.
Thank you.
So how long have you actually been a pup in the community now?
So I've been part of the community off and on for about 18 years.
Wow.
Um, I started initially as a handler. Um, it was actually due to, and this is actually something that I opened up and talked about during my competition, and it's actually something that I'm looking forward to discussing more and more. Was pup play actually saved my life from committing suicide? So this was I met a pup. He kind of introduced me to pup play. He was training me to be his handler, just kind of the way that he needed me to be, and it kind of gave me purpose and gave me life again. So it wasn't until about October 18th, 2021, that I put on a hood for the first time, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm on the wrong side of the leash here. So I kind of flipped it, and I was like, I've been enjoying the pup side more and more, and I'm really fully involved in the pup community more so now than I have been. And finding my inner pup has really kind of like unleashed myself to realize my full potential and just move forward and realize, you know what, this is what I've been missing in my life. So
And you're not the first one that I've talked to where they say this has actually saved their life, and
yeah,
it's good to hear. I'm glad this became a purpose for you and gave you something to do every day if you do it every day.
yep,
It's just so amazing that it has helped so many people.
absolutely. And that's kind of what I was going with when I went through my competition was basically just kind of like sharing that story of this is what I've overcome. This is what this community has given me, and this is what I hope to give back. So this is really kind of the platform that I'm running on, and that I want to basically share with the community, and not just here locally in Georgia, but across the nation and even in the world if I get to that point. So
Now, are you still a title holder for 2023, or have they elected a one for 2024 yet?
No. So I was just given, or we just had our competition 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm roughly almost a month into it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
you're
tomorrow will
brand
be
new.
week 4. So it's 1 month down. So
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on that.
thank you.
I just had a friend that went through the Florida puppy, but he didn't make it. Was someone else was picked, but hey, he did an amazing job.
I was actually down there for the Florida puppy competition.
Oh, were you really?
Yes.
So
So
you were there at Sawmill. So
yep, I was. Yep, that was my first time at Sawmill. Pup handler, or excuse me, handler Chris. He was my head judge at my competition, and then Pup Dauber, who I believe is one of the producers of the event. He was up there as one of my judges as well, and they were kind of talking about the competition, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I can make it. I was like, I think it would be great for as the newly titled pup for Georgia to head down there and build our community and kind of like hey, here I am. I'm here to help, and I'm here to support this community as well, just like I would support my community here in Georgia. So it was a great time. I had so much fun. Like all the pups did amazing during the competition.
I agree. I agree. And I loved it. That was our first competition to go see. We've been to Sawmill many times to just during a puppy weekend. In fact, we got one coming up in March, and I've already booked my stay in Sawmill for that as well.
Oh,
But
nice.
too bad I didn't know you were there at the time, and we could have actually met in person and stuff. So,
Right? I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we actually kind of like probably like ran across each other and
oh,
just didn't even realize it. So
yeah, I'm sure we did. I'm sure. So, being in the community for a long time, what has been the easiest and then what's been the most difficult part?
the easiest part is just kind of shedding like my human self and just
Mhm.
allowing myself to go like into headspace and just go full puppy. That has been the easiest part. Like I didn't realize how easy I was gonna roll like just fall into this role and just be like, yep, this is who I am, and like this makes complete sense now. I think the hardest part was not seeing the value that I had in myself
Mhm.
beforehand. It That's been the hardest part is not registering like the value that I brought to the table and the value that I brought to others just by being who I am and not seeing that full potential. But now that I do see it, like it's kind of hard not to turn that off now. So
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, is there anything that you see now that you would want to change as part of our community?
I would definitely love to see more of our trans brothers and sisters, our non-binary brothers and sisters, to realize that there is safety in this community. And I think it is starting to get to that point that we are starting to see more of our non-binary, our trans family coming out and saying, you know what, here I am, and this is who I am. And like I met a pup this past weekend who's straight, and it was like, hey, you know what, great. This is I love to see that this community is growing, not just past the LGBT part, but like the QIA plus, and like everybody's included. And as long as you come in respectfully and open arms, open heart, then this is the community for you. And I would love to let them know, like, we're here for you. We see you. You're valid. Like, please come out. Like, show up. That way we can, give you those safe places also. So that way you know that you have a home here as well.
I totally agree with you on that. In fact, probably a few episodes back, I interviewed a straight female pup that came actually to my house because she's local here to Orlando, and we did an in person. And it was cool because on the couch next to us was her boyfriend sitting there supporting her all the way. And
That's
it was
awesome.
just so amazing to be able to start getting different people into this community because it is a welcoming community.
Absolutely.
So, what advice would you give someone that's just now wanting to get into this community?
The advice that I would give to anybody that is first getting into this community is be alone, know yourself before you get into a pack. It is not a requirement for you to be in a pack. It is not a requirement for you to have a handler. It is not a requirement for you to have anybody other than yourself. Because I think it's important for you to know yourself before you get into a pack dynamic or start a pack of your own or whatever the case may be. Because if you don't truly know yourself and if you don't know what you stand for, you're willing to fall for anything. So it's good for you to take that time, know who you are, know what your standards are, and what boundaries you're wanting to set for yourself. Because being in a pack is very much like being in a relationship. It is a dynamic on its own.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so having that relationship, you have to be able to, give up certain things. And, are these things that you're really willing to lose or compromise on if you don't truly know who you are and what you need out of yourself?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So, kind of on a lighter note, when you think about you, Pup Link, what brings you the most joy out of pup play? And do you have a favorite toy that you like to play with?
Yes. The most joy that I have is just being able to mosh with other puppies.
Hmm.
Um, I've been to a couple of pride events now, and just when we have the tent set up and we have the mosh pads down, and we can just like either cuddle, play, chase balls, balance toys on our nose, get treats, get scritches, just being able to kind of like release that human side and just kind of like, this is just so much fun.
Yeah.
As far as my favorite toy, it's actually one of my newest. But this one is now my favorite. It says Equality,
Hmm.
um, but it's got crinkles and
Yeah.
squeakers. So this is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I absolutely love. Where did you get that?
I actually got it on Amazon.
Oh,
So
really?
because Amazon has everything.
Well,
So
you're right. They absolutely do. And it's funny that you mentioned that Atlanta does their Pride in October. So does Orlando. We do
yep,
ours in because we like to tie it around the National Coming Out Day instead of
yep.
during June when all the other prides are.
Initially, like it was for the national coming out, but there was also because like typically, especially in Atlanta, like the weather's so unpredictable. Like we would have it at the beginning of June and it would rain. We'd have it at the end of June, it would rain. Have it in the middle of June, it would rain. It was just like it was guaranteed that if we have Pride, it's gonna rain. It
It's
doesn't
gonna
matter what weekend we chose. We always chose the weekend. Like all the other weekends for that month would be clear. But the
Yeah,
one weekend we do Pride, it didn't matter where we shifted it to. It was always raining. So it kind of works out. But yeah, we also did it for the national coming out as well. Plus, walking in the parade in that cooler weather is so nice.
agreed. Because June here is just miserable. I mean, October is still bad enough, but
Yeah.
June is miserable down in Orlando to do it.
Oh yes.
So, and we've already kind of talked about this question about,
Okay.
being your mental health and what this has done for you. And
Yeah.
it's been a huge thing for you, I can already tell.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So
So,
with
oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no. I was gonna say yeah. Just for my mental health, just being able to clear those demons, clear the skeletons out of my closet, allow myself to see the value and the worth that I have in myself, and finally realize that you know what, yeah, that was a chapter in my life, but that's a chapter that I've closed, and that's something that's behind me, and I have a community that will now rally behind me. They will take me by the paw, take me by the leash. They will drag me through if they have to, and they are going to see me through the other side because it doesn't matter how dark it gets, I'm not alone. And
Exactly.
that's definitely something that I want other pups and peoples and critters and horses and however you identify. Like, I want you to know the same thing. This community is here for you. And, if you're not walking through the dark alone, like I will walk with you. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. So
Awesome. Yep. Good to hear. Good to hear. So, what is one thing you wish you had known before you got into the community?
I would probably this is probably going to tie it back to myself and my mental health, but I wish I knew how to love myself the way that I love myself now.
Yeah.
Um, that would probably be the one thing that I wish I knew beforehand, because it probably would have changed a lot of things along the way. However, things happen for a reason, and I realize that everyone's journey is different, and sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to get to where we are, and
Mhm.
that's okay. And
Right.
but if I would have known to love myself the way that I love myself now, it would have definitely given a whole different light to who I am and kind of where I am in my life. But I'm okay with where I am now and how I got here. So
Well, it's good that you're in a better place now, and I'm glad the pup community has done that for you. So,
absolutely.
what kind of hobbies do you have? And also, kind of a two-parter, any pets?
Okay. So hobbies, I play a video game again. Uh, I do play a lot of the Zelda games on Switch. I do play a lot of PC games, World of Warcraft. That one's kind of died off a little bit for me. Valheim. I'm also playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. D&D. I recently got into D&D, going about 2 to 3 years now, with this one campaign that I've been part of, and like just a bunch of just really awesome guys. And it's so yeah, so basically just gaming. It just kind of gives you an opportunity to kind of like bond with people. But I also do enjoy like camping and hiking and swimming and getting outdoors as well. So it wide range. So I yeah, but mostly gaming. Gaming's like my therapeutic go-to. With pets, we did have two dogs. Unfortunately, we lost both of them to cancer.
Oh,
Um, but we have one cat who was their youngest brother, if you want to put it that way. He is a cat who believes that he's a dog.
yeah.
Um, so he's our fourth four-legged creature. He's actually on the back there, laying by the back door, laying in the sun, because if the back door's not open, he's gonna let me know about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Of course they do. I've got three cats myself, so I totally understand. So, I know within the pup community there are a lot of kind of titles that we go by. Some do, some don't, and everything. And you hear a lot about beta, omega, and alpha.
mhm.
Do you, Pup Link, identify as any of those three?
Yes, I'm actually an alpha. I'm actually an alpha to my pack, who we affectionately call Mutts R Us.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
so it's kind of like Toys R Us, but Mutts R Us.
That's awesome.
Um, we have I have 9 puppies who are under me,
Wow.
um, and then I have 2 puppies who are adjacent. And basically, for me, we are more of a social dynamic. I'm more concerned about their mental health, how they're doing, what can I do to help them on their next interview, their next whatever the case may be, whatever they're going through, just kind of like how can I help? So I have a beta, I have 7 deltas, and then 1 omega. So we actually run the gamut of alpha, beta, delta, and omega. So,
Um,
but I do identify as an alpha.
okay, awesome. So there in Atlanta, what kind of events do you have going on currently?
Currently, we've got quite a few events going on. So the first and third Wednesday of every month, we have Pup Night at Heretic. That's also their gaming night, so they bring out all their gaming consoles. So if you just want to sit around and play video games, if you want to go out on the back deck and just drink and chit chat and have a good time, that is an awesome time. That's usually at Heretic. Usually starts about, it says 8, but usually the pups don't get there until about like 9, 9:30, 10, something like that. Um, and we usually are there for a little good while. It is kind of a little bit harder because it is on a weekday, but we still make the best of it.
Hmm.
We have now changed our Mondays with the Eagle to our Pup Teeth on Sunday. So it is the first Sunday of every month. So actually, this coming Sunday, October 1st, um, there's going to be our Pup Tea event, which is our Pride edition, since it is our Pride this month.
Hmm.
Um, this isn't necessarily just in Atlanta, but I do frequent Augusta as well. Our friends and neighbors in Augusta, they have an event the third weekend of every month at the Edge nightclub where they do their pup night.
Okay.
So those are a couple of events that I typically regularly attend, or at least try to make sure that I am there for.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is where you get to ask the next pup a question about, pup play or pretty much anything. What question would you want to ask the next one that I interview?
So for the next pup handler pet that you interview, if they are in a dynamic of being in a pack or starting a pack or have pack members, what are qualities that you look for in those members to join your pack or be a part of your pack, or qualities that you look for to be in a pack?
Okay. Okay. And your question came from handler Kai out of London, UK. And he wanted to know, what did you first hear about the pup community? And I know it's going to go way back for you since you've been
Ooh.
in it for so long, but what's the first thing you heard about or maybe even thought about when you heard pup community?
So the first thing, ooh, that's taking it back.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that I remember hearing about the pup community, and this was from the pup that was teaching me to be their handler, was this is a community that is going to accept and love you. This is, it's not surrounded around anything with actual animals. So wanted to make sure that we got that, out of
Mhm,
the way.
mhm.
But more so, like, this is a release of your human side. It is a headspace. It allows you to explore yourself in a different means than you would probably normally do without it. And so I think that was definitely the first thing hearing about pup play was this is just an open community that is going to love and embrace you, just kind of come in respectfully, and, we can kind of lead you by the paw or lead you by the leash and show you the way.
Okay. So if some other pups may want to reach out to you and say they saw you here on Unleashed,
Yeah.
uh, how could they reach out to you?
So I am across a couple of different social platforms.
Okay.
On Facebook, my pup page that I just started, so I'm still kind of getting that one up and going, is Link, Link, Mutt, Mutt. That goes back to my Mutts R Us pack. So I had to come up with a last name. So I was like, oh, that'll work. Um, as far as the other social apps, such as Telegram, TikTok, and Twitter, I believe all of my at symbols are the same. So it is at pup, PUP, underscore link, Link, underscore GA for Georgia.
Okay, awesome. So any last words from you before we jump off of this?
Last words for anyone who is watching, and if you made it this far, just remember there is a community that loves you. You are loved. You are valid. Keep your chin up, tail wagging, and just keep moving.
Awesome. I couldn't say it any better. Well, Pup Link, it's been awesome having you on. I've really enjoyed getting to talk to you. I just wish I could have met you a few weeks or a week ago when we were
So I'll
together.
actually be back down in a Sawmill in January. So while I was there, I was reached out to by one of the producers who does the Sawmill Leather Boy competition in January.
Yeah.
So they asked me to come down and be a judge. So I will be back down in Sawmill in January.
Well, I might have to look at going in January too. That's my birthday month. So
Hey,
maybe
there we go. See,
it,
that'd be excellent.
what was it?
That'd be excellent. Like, be able to come out and celebrate your birthday and do the event all at the same time. So that'd be amazing.
Heck yeah. So maybe that's another option to go to Sawmill.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, hey, it was awesome getting to talk to you, and I'm sure we'll
You as
talk
well.
again soon.
All right.